What is up, emojis? My name is VTR, and welcome back to another movie review. And yes, I'm a little late to this, but not that late. It's not like as late as I am to a bunch of other movies I should have been reviewed. But today we're reviewing Scream 6. Before we get into anything else, let's read the synopsis provided by Rotten Tomatoes. Following the latest Ghostface killings, four survivors leave Woodsboro behind to start a fresh chapter. There's a lot more to it than that, obviously, but that's basically the Carpenter sisters. They moved to New York to basically move on with their lives, but then Ghostface killings start happening again, and they get roped up in it. Whole thing. Um, First off, going into this, I had a pretty good level of expectations with it being a Scream film, the sixth Scream film in the franchise. With the Scream franchise being one of my favorite horror franchises, obviously, um, definitely a really dang good franchise with with a bunch of really good characters and everything. And I love this franchise. So this movie I was really hyped for. It's probably one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I really liked the new characters and how they brought them into the with Sam and Tara. Their characters in this movie are really interesting and really and then you had the other characters that come back from the last movie that are in this movie now. The twins, which I'll get to talk about them a little more in a minute. This movie, though, I feel like was a great follow up to the last one. I don't know if I like it more than the last one because like I've only seen both of them once. I saw Scream 5 when it came out, and I saw this one just a couple days ago. Um, Personally, I think this movie is a very different Scream film. Like it does some things that you would not expect a Scream film to do. Obviously, you still got the familiar beats of a Scream film, but this movie definitely does some things different uh to throw your expectations. And also there's some scenes in this movie that are straight up love letters to the franchise. You may have seen some of the stuff in the marketing and bunch of stuff from previous Scream movies. It's pretty cool to see a bunch of that stuff in the movie. Really interesting. Just super interesting to see um all that fan service and also you get some new characters here. None of them are really that memorable, but pretty much they're not supposed to be. They're not supposed to be like, oh, I don't feel like they're here to and round out the new characters and everything. But this is the most brutal Ghostface we have ever seen in this franchise. I think you thought in previous installments, but this Ghostface is brutal. Like, like you see some really messed up stuff in this. Um, And the interesting thing about it is it tries new things. You still get the familiar territory, which I think is what you need. You need the familiarity. Say that right? Of what you know, and then you gotta throw us something good. This movie has some scenes. The scene on the subway, which you see in the trailer, is it's so intense and it's so tension filled. You're feeling the tension the whole time you're watching. Um, but this and the setting of New York is super interesting. Um, and you get and that scene you see it in the trailer was the Ghostface, the shotgun. You think it means, but that's actually one of the coolest scenes in the movie. Um, Personally, I thought this movie was great. I think they did a fantastic job combining the old with the new. Um, but before I get into more positives, I do want to go into my negatives a little bit. I don't have much. Um, Mindy, which is the one of the twins, she's our basically our new Randy, which we've established in the last film. Me personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of her in the last one. I didn't not like her, and I just like, I could do without her. And here, I just don't like her that much. Um, Then again, Chad, which is our brother, him I really like. I like his character. There's some scenes in this movie where I audibly gasp. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And Jenna Ortega in this movie, who plays Tara, she's great in this movie. And person that plays Sam Carpenter, I don't remember her actress's name, but she is such a great character. You're learning so much more. There's one thing I don't like. They kind of bring back kind of, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. They bring back the some of the like the Billy Loomis talking in her head thing at points, and I'm like, okay, do we really need to bring that back? And also, the movie's kind of like making you trying to think like, okay, so these killings are going on. What's it got to do with the Carpenter sisters? And you really it keeps you guessing, I'd say, and it's something that it should do. And the twist is one that's like, whoa, um like that's a twist I did not see coming in. And also, one of my favorite aspects of this movie is Kirby being back. I knew as soon as they confirmed that Kirby was still alive, I was like, when we get Kirby back in this franchise, because Kirby was one of my favorite characters in Scream 4. And really liked I really liked Kirby in this movie. She was a fun character. But having her back and everything, I loved it. And you get a bit of like a sequel, feel some of the similar vibes to the sequel to the original Scream 2. You kind of get some of that like thing here, and I am going to say this for a Scream movie. Stay after the credits. Just stay after the credits. That's all I'm going to say. But for the most part, this is a fun time. I like the kills are good. They um your expectations are derailed, in my opinion. I think they go in completely directions you don't expect, and but like I said, it still follows a Scream formula, which kind of some people might see as a problem. Me personally, I think like, yeah, you still gotta have what makes a Scream movie, but you gotta do something different with it, which they did. But especially when 6 films in, you've got to do something. And I really feel like they did that here, and it is a really good movie. And I think so far it is the best movie I've seen so far this year. Granted, I've only seen 4 movies so far this year. Um, but it's definitely been the best one I've seen so far, and it is a really fun time, especially on the big. Once again, getting to see a Scream movie on the big screen because I get this last year was such a big deal. To me, getting to see uh this iconic killer on the big screen. There's some kills that like really hit you in my opinion. No, 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 or like there's some really intense scenes where I'm like, it's good. I think this movie is really darn good, and I really cannot wait to see what Scream 7 has to offer. On Rotten Tomatoes, um critics give this movie a 76, which I don't know if I agree with that. I think it should be a little higher, I think. Honestly, give it a 92, which I completely agree with. Because personally, I this is definitely, I don't know. This is one of the better films in the franchise. It's definitely better than 3. I don't know if it's better. I'd probably put it above 4. I'd say. But I don't know. Maybe I'll do a whole franchise ranking at one point. But personally, I think I'd give this a solid 4 out of 5. Like it's a solid 4 out of 5 rating for this. I really do like what they, and I like the characters. I just like basically almost everything about the movie. There's some few minor bits here and there that I don't like, but the goods outweigh the negative. Um, like I said, not the biggest fan of Mindy's character. I really hope they can like, I don't know. She's got some fun lines in here, and I can tell what they're trying to do with her. Just for me, I can't tell if they're like intentionally trying to recapture that Randy feel. Um, but but I don't know, just something her character just I don't know, it just feels like a watered down Randy to me. I don't hate her character, like, at all, but I don't know, maybe if I watch the movie a few more times, maybe my, mind will change on her character, but as of right now, with one viewing and only seeing the other movie once, that's where my mindset is at the moment with the characters. Gale coming back is, the only legacy character, well, besides, Kirby, coming back is good. Gale is good in this movie. I really thought it would kind of be hard to have Gale by herself without Dewey and without Sydney. But surprisingly, Gale is really good in this. Which don't get me wrong, she's a great actress too. And like I said, Kirby's like probably one of my favorite parts of this, and it's overall just a fun time. So I could give it a 4 out of 5 because I really did enjoy this movie. I don't know, I'd probably put it right maybe this somewhere between within. My favorite will always be the first. The second is really good too, and then 4 is really good. I don't know where I'd actually rank this franchise. I kind of need to probably do a full rewatch of the franchise, but besides that, I think that's all I really have to say for this review. Let me know uh what you guys think of this movie down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.